the biggest story of the day in our universe of stories about which we speak here is President Trump spoke to Vladimir Putin today at a very long phone call, got readouts from both sides. Primary topic, at least as far as we understand it, was Ukraine, where there were very conciliatory things said on both sides, and where President Trump um, uh, talked about uh, the prospect that the two would meet soon. There's some discussion of meeting in the U.S. and Russia. Also, some discuss the conversation about meeting in Saudi Arabia. Please play number 10.
We're going to be meeting actually tomorrow. They're meeting in Munich, as you know, and we're going to have some other meetings. And I'll be dealing with President Putin largely on the phone, and we ultimately expect to meet. In fact, we expect that he'll come here and I'll go there, and we're going to meet also probably in Saudi Arabia. The first time we'll meet in Saudi Arabia, see if we can get something done. But we want to end that war. That war is a disaster. It's a really bloody, horrible war.
All right, so this is a huge story, and it's where I want to start in talking about four areas of contrast. I'll talk about it one by one and bring in our guests. Talked about four areas of contrast where President Trump is different than Joe Biden. And I think in each of them you could argue for his own political benefit better in terms of how he operates than Joe Biden. And this first one is how he deals with people like Putin. Okay? So you can debate, as many do, why it is that when Barack Obama was president, Putin took some of Ukraine, then took not a square inch of Ukraine while Donald Trump was president that we know of. And then when Joe Biden became president, he invaded Ukraine. We can debate why that happened. Donald Trump would have a point of view about that. I'm not really sure what Joe Biden's point of view in that would be on that, to be honest. But I know what Donald Trump would say. And then Joe Biden did an incredible job, in my view, and the view of many other people, in building a coalition to support Ukraine. Success, because he didn't let tanks roll through into Poland and down the Champs-Elysees. Success. But I don't think he can look at anything as a failure that he left office with the war still going on, all these people dying, and massive problems in Ukraine with the government, with the military, with the nature of the destruction done to the country and to the people. And again, maybe Joe Biden, if reelected, or Kamala Harris, if elected, would have ended the war. But I think, again, there's reason to think no, they weren't doing anything to end the war. And one thing they weren't doing is talking to Putin. Donald Trump, from the beginning of his time in national life, and even before he ran in 2015, has always said, "I'll talk to anybody. I don't have this like moral high ground stance of I'm not going to talk to the leader of Russia or the leader of China, or if they do something we don't like, the Chinese shoot down a military plane or North Korea shoots some missiles." The reaction of a lot of people in the foreign policy world is, well, you can't talk to them. Got to not talk to them. And I think there was some thought. I've heard a lot of conversation about this before Donald Trump got reelected. People said, is it possible that Putin will never be in the community of nations again? For as long as he's alive and running Russia, the West can never let him back. I think that was a real possibility, but it's not. It's not for Donald Trump. For Donald Trump, it's like he'll talk to anybody. He will happily talk to anybody if he thinks it's in the interest of the United States to talk to them. And that's different. And again, I'm not saying he's going to end the war for sure, but it seems like he might. And it doesn't seem like Joe Biden was ending the war.